Hello, this is Mrs. Hadaway, and today we're going to talk about subtracting decimals. Before we begin, I want to remind you of several things. First, I will still be teaching you the same way. I still expect you to write everything down in your notebook. I still expect you to log this lesson in your table of contents, and you are still responsible for this material. Things that are different: you can rewind the lesson and listen to it again. You can watch it in your pajamas, and you must complete a reflection in your notebook for this video. So let's start by adding this to your table of contents. I'm adding it as page 4 in my notebook because that's what page I am in my notebook. This may be different in your notebook. The lesson is subtracting decimals. It's August 5th when I'm completing this lesson. It may be a different date for you. Put the appropriate date for your notebook. On page 4, I'm titling my lesson Subtracting Decimals. The rule for subtracting decimals: you must line up the decimals. If you don't see a decimal in a number, then it is at the end of the number like the period at the end of a sentence. Let's try a couple of examples. Don't forget, if I'm going too fast, you just have to press pause. If I have 5.7 minus 1.9, all I have to do is line up the decimals, 5.7 minus 1.9, and subtract. I can't say 7 minus 9, so I have to borrow. Borrow from the 5 and make it a 4. If you don't know how to do this, go back and watch the video subtracting by borrowing. The 5 becomes a 4, and we give the 7 a 1 to make it 17. 17 minus 9 is what? That's right, it's 8. 4 minus 1 is what? It's 3. Nice work. The decimal comes straight down to right here. Now we know our answer is 3.8. If you had done the 5-step process and you had said 5.7 is almost 6 and 1.2 is almost 2, you would know that 6 minus 2 is almost 4. So 3.8 is about 4, and we would know that our answer is close by giving us an estimate of 4. 3.8 is an estimate, or is close to our estimate of 4, which would be much closer than if we had gotten 38 or 0.38 or something else. That's very important. Let's do another problem. What if we said 65 minus 0.274? Let's start by estimating this time. We know that 65 is almost 70. And we know that 0.275 is almost 0. It's not even 1. So if we say 70 minus 0, that would give us almost 70. Or even 65 minus 0 is almost 65. So we know that we're taking hardly anything away from this number. So we don't want to have a strange number that gives us something way away from 65. Now let's actually do the math. So we're going to say 65, and where's the decimal? Well, if we don't see a decimal, we know it's at the end, like a period at the end of the sentence. Now we've got to put this decimal right under it, and those numbers come after it. So 274. Now we have to put zeros above them as space holders, and we're going to subtract. Now we can't say 0 minus 4, and we can't borrow from that 0, and we can't borrow from that 0. So we have to come all the way over to this 5 and borrow and make it a 4. Now we have to say, okay, there's a 10. But we have to borrow from that 10 and make it a 9 and give it to that 0. And then we have to borrow from that 10 and make it a 9 and give it to that 0 just so we can subtract that 4. So 10 minus 4 is 6. And 9 minus 7 is 2. And 9 minus 2 is 7. And then we can say 4 minus, and now we have a 0. 4 minus 0 is 4. And now 6 minus 0 is 6. And our decimals come straight down. So our answer is 64.726. Well, if we say, is that close to 65? Yeah, sure it is. And 64.7, that would be, we could round that up to 65. Not really to 70, but close to 65. So we hardly took anything away from the 65. The 3 problems I want you to practice with today are 32 minus 2.3, 5.6 minus 3.40, and 0.06 minus, let's do 1.06 minus 0.3. Press pause and work those problems on your own. All right, let's check your problems. I borrowed from the 2 and got 10 minus 3 is 7. I borrowed from the 3, I got 11 minus 2 is 9. And then 2 minus 0 is 2 for 29.7. I've got 0 minus 0 is 0. 6 minus 4 is 2. And 5 minus 3 is 2. I've got 6 minus 0 is 6. 10 minus 3 is 7. And 1 I crossed out because I borrowed from it. So I've got 0.76. For your reflection today, please write in words how you solve problems subtracting decimals, and make 3 problems, an easy, a medium, and a difficult problem for a classmate to do. And I appreciate your attention today. I hope you learned something, and I will see you in class. Thank you.